We're going to start with the running back rotation because everyone wants to talk about JaMycal Hasty. All you got to do is say JaMycal Hasty and you get 100,000 views on your article. So, Jack, should the Niners just give JaMycal Hasty 30 carries against the Patriots, or should there be a rotation? How would you split up the carries, and who would you start if you were the head coach of the 49ers this Sunday?
If I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm starting Jerick McKinnon. McKinnon's going to be my starter. He's the all-around back. He has the ability to he's a decent running back, and also he's much better in pass protection. So if I was looking at this one, the main thing here really isn't between McKinnon and Hasty. It's between Hasty and Wilson, with the way that Kyle Shanahan will generally use his running backs. So it should be McKinnon should get somewhere in the ballpark of about 9 to 10 carries. And he's going. If we look at their snaps overall, I think they're going to be pretty balanced between McKinnon and Hasty. I'd say probably 10 about 10 carries for McKinnon, and then you're going to see Hasty with about 10 to 14, and then a couple left over for Wilson. That's the way that I would expect to see this play out.
Sounds good.
I think you got to start with McKinnon just because the veteran usually draws the start, at least in Shanahan's offense. But last week, Denver had some success with Philip Lindsay, an undrafted free agent a couple years ago, and who's another 5'8" undrafted free agent that the Patriots could be facing this week is JaMycal Hasty. So you could see some success right there. I would go with McKinnon at the start, and then once he kind of breaks in the defense, that's when you go with Hasty, a more rested guy. We haven't seen a lot of explosiveness out of McKinnon on non-third and longs this year, and I think that's a way Hasty can have success. But I'd go a 50-50 split.
Okay.
So I'm going to use the Mostert rule. The guy who gets the most carries is the guy who's determined the starter. And I'm going to say that has to be Hasty because McKinnon has got the bulk of the carries 2 different occasions this season. And in those 2 different occasions combined, he averaged less than 3 yards per carry. That's enough sample size I need. So I'm not going to have McKinnon be my bell cow essentially on this during this game. I'm going to feed the ball to Hasty. I would love to say about 20 times from what I've seen, and then from your film breakdown, Grant. If anyone hasn't seen it, go ahead and check his YouTube channel for that. I love those jump cuts that you established there. And so with Hasty, he's got to be the guy, but because of he hasn't really played much, limited off season, I'm not going to give him 20 carries, so I would set it back probably at about 14 carries this game. That's what I would do.
Okay. You guys all have very reasonable, thought-out answers. I'm going to say start Hasty. Forget it. I'm getting real hasty about it. I say start him. And I understand McKinnon's the vet. Hasty apparently had fumbling issues in college. He has a very small sample size, and do you really trust him in New England? Thing is, I think Hasty brings out the best in Kyle Shanahan. Maybe it's too small. It's too early to say that, but we've talked about this offense having an identity, and we saw it without Mostert for a couple of weeks with McKinnon in the starting lineup, and I felt like Shanahan got away from the identity real fast. What makes McKinnon useful is his ability, like from the shotgun in third down as a receiver. And when he's on the field in first down, I feel like Shanahan, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe the numbers say I'm wrong, but it feels like he gets a little pass happy or he panics. He just gives up on the run game a little quicker than he would if he had Mostert or Breida. And I think that Hasty has a lot of that Breida in him where he can get the outside zone run. He can actually run between the tackles surprisingly well for a little guy, and he runs hard. So I think that Hasty gives Shanahan a better chance to stick to the script than if he goes to McKinnon and starts, I don't know. I'm just really trying to disagree with you guys here. I want to see Hasty.
What you're saying makes sense because Shanahan has a tendency where if his running game isn't gaining 5-6 yards a pop, that's when he gets away from it. It's not that McKinnon's not doing well because in his starts he's averaged I think about 3.8 against the Jets and the Giants. Those were his big carry games. So I think that's what happens with Shanahan. He wants to see the big play.
No doubt.
Yep. And the one thing that I'll say too, is the one play that you showed today, Grant, on your breakdown where you got the toss to the right and the cutback. That's the same exact play that McKinnon broke against the Jets. It's the same exact formation, same exact play.
Interesting. That was like 3rd and 27, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. He just needs to be given more opportunities on stuff like that, not necessarily running in between the tackles because he's not that guy.
Yeah, interesting. I like McKinnon. I think he runs super hard. It's just I think that like on that run, he didn't get to fifth gear, and he should have pulled away. I think Hasty probably could have taken that one to the house, but honestly, he'll take a 55-yard run. It's still pretty good. It's not bad.
So
what?
In the 2 games that McKinnon started combined is actually 3.29 per carry.
Yeah, I just feel like with McKinnon, he's just so perfect for a third down role that I'd like to keep him in that. And I know it sounds crazy. Like, do you want to start an undrafted rookie under him? Well, I know what McKinnon is, and I know he's so perfect and comfortable in that third down role. I don't really like Shanahan's play calling tendencies when he has to start McKinnon, but I don't know what Shanahan's play calling tendencies would be if he started Hasty. It's interesting, but if I were Shanahan, I would. I know it sounds easy to say start Hasty, and then he fumbles in the third carry. You're like, ooh, my bad. I should have been more conservative on that one. Sorry, guys. So I understand the argument against it, but it's not my team, so I'm going for it.
Hopefully, he doesn't leave the football on the ground like McKinnon did.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest play.
That was the weirdest play of all time. It was pretty funny though.